back, and today we are going to make omelets. Now this lab is very different than the other labs we've done in class. What you're going to do is you're going to be interviewing a classmate and taking orders for omelets. If you've ever been at a real nice buffet, they usually have somebody there taking omelet orders and making them right while you wait. And so that is what you're going to learn how to do today, is make omelets to order. So the first thing is you have to decide what toppings the customer wants on it. And for this, we are just going to do a little bit of onion and a little bit of cheddar cheese. But again, you could have cheddar cheese, you could have ham, green pepper, onions. You know, there's a wide variety of toppings that can go into an omelet. All right, so the first thing we need to do is you need to dice the vegetables that are going into your omelet. And the only vegetable I am going to use is onion. And since this is one omelet I'm making, I am just going to cut this one slice of onion. Because here, you cannot make omelets in a bulk. It's an individual thing. And again, I am going to cut these relatively small. All right, since it's going into an omelet. Okay? All right. So the next step, and if you were having green peppers or ham or tomatoes, you would get all of those cut up now at the beginning of the omelet. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to heat the oil and butter. Now, if you remember, I'm going to set this to 8. Oil and butter will burn. In fact, if you leave them on here long enough and don't watch them, they will ignite and start a fire. So you can't walk away from this and forget it's there. Okay? While that's going, I am going to crack my 2 eggs into the bowl, and I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Okay? You should have a garbage bowl on your table for your eggshells. I have a garbage can nice and handy. Okay? And you want to mix this very well. You want the yolk entirely incorporated with the egg white. Okay? Now, one thing I'm going to do that is not, and I'm seeing this is a mixture of butter and oil here. I'm going to turn this off till I have the eggs ready, and then we'll reheat that up a little bit. I am going to add a very small amount of milk. Take this off before it falls in. All that's going to do is help incorporate some air into the omelet and make it a little fluffier. You can also use heavy cream, any type of milk-based product. And then we need to add some salt and pepper. And again, it calls for a pinch of each. So there's a pinch of pepper. And a pinch of salt. We're going to mix these up. Okay, and just let that set. I am going to turn this back on. And again, I'm going to keep it around 8. Now what you're going to do is you're going to saute your vegetables. So if you had ham and green pepper and all of that, you would put all of that in here now, all of your veggies, and so they get nice and hot. You don't want to eat an omelet that has cold, food in it. So we're going to let these saute, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, our onions are all sauteed. You want to be careful not to burn them. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your egg mixture, and you're going to pour it right over the top of your cooked veggies. Okay? Now, if you ruin your omelet, you will have scrambled eggs. So on one hand, that's a good thing, and that you'll still have something to eat, but your customer may not be real happy. All right? Now, a problem students tend to have is they're impatient. They just want it done. You have to let this cook enough before you start moving the batter or the eggs around. And so it's still pretty flimsy around the sides here. All right, so we're going to just let that, it's starting to cook. Eggs cook really fast, but you have to allow it. And you can tip the pan to get some of those raw eggs to run underneath. And again, it's just a little bit. The middle will keep cooking because obviously the heat is under that. So far, so good. You don't want to pour all of this off. We can pour a little more, but if you pour it all off, the middle of your omelet will be paper thin. Okay. So we're just going to keep letting this cook. Also, some of this could be butter and oil, so you have to kind of watch it. We definitely have some egg there. You can tell it's jiggly. We are almost done here. I want to get the rest of that cooked. All right, so I'm going to let that finish cooking while I get my cheese. All right, so this is a cheese and omelet, and I have a little tear there, which I will just put some egg in there. There we go. All right, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese over half the omelet because omelets are flipped. You know, I'm going to flip this half over so you don't have to put cheese on the whole thing. And you want to have your plate handy. Okay, so this is the point of no return here. You can see how you flip it over. Slide it out onto your plate and enjoy.